So to me, both of these things are very realistic 2022 price targets. All right, welcome to Talkin' Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to talk to you about a company called CleanSpark, stock ticker CLSK. CleanSpark announced their monthly update today. We cover Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners quite a bit on this channel, so if that's content that you're interested in, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And of course, if you enjoy this video, please smash the like button and feel free to leave us a comment below. So CleanSpark today announced their January operational update. So the Bitcoin miners are basically all getting into the habit of giving us a monthly update sometime in the first week of the following month that talks about how many Bitcoin they mined and what their exahash rate is and just a general progress update. So CleanSpark issued that this morning. So I want to go through that because CleanSpark is doing something very differently than all the other Bitcoin miners. So I want to share what that is, and then I guess you guys can decide for yourself whether you think it's a good thing or a bad thing. And of course, we'll look at their numbers and see how their numbers are progressing. Okay, February 3rd. This was at 9 o'clock this morning. They issued this press release. CleanSpark announces January 2022 Bitcoin production. So they say month-to-month Bitcoin production increased 35%. So we'll go through those numbers. That is a monster increase month over month. So that's actually one of the best increases month over month of any miner in the last year. So from the top, this is looking good, but you will see there's something interesting in here they're doing differently that I think has some people concerned. Some people like it, some people don't. January monthly production, 305 Bitcoin. So that is their all-time record by far. They mined 226 Bitcoin in the month of December. That was their previous all-time record. To put that in perspective, that is roughly the same amount of Bitcoin mined as Bitfarms did in the month of January and Hut 8 did in the month of January. So just from a production standpoint, they are operating at a similar level to those two companies right now. Now, there are some other major differences between CleanSpark and those companies, so they're trading at wildly different market caps. But for now, we're just looking at their actual operations. So I think we can say that operationally, 305 Bitcoin mined in the month of January is a home run. So that's good news. Then they say total Bitcoin holdings as of January 31st, 471. So that is a very low number. Out of all of the publicly traded Bitcoin miners that we cover on this channel, particularly the 8 or 10 that have been around for longer than a year, there's several brand new companies, but the ones we've been covering for the last year all have taken a hodl strategy, and they are amassing large amounts of Bitcoin on their balance sheet. CleanSpark is not doing that. They have 471 Bitcoin. To put it in perspective, Hut 8 has 5,500 Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So that's more than 10 times as many, and those are all self-mined. Total Bitcoin converted for operations and growth in January, 467. So this is what's happening. This is why they only have 471 Bitcoin on their balance sheet. They spent almost as many Bitcoin in January as they have left on their balance sheet. So I know that that is going to be disturbing to some investors or potentially a lot of investors. It's a different strategy. It's one we're not used to. Nobody else is doing this. They do have a $500 million shelf offering, equity offering that they could be tapping into, but they have a very low number of outstanding shares. They have made the decision that they are not going to dilute their shareholders. They would rather spend their Bitcoin than issue stock at this very low price that they're currently trading at. And you'll see they're at a historic low price for them. So at the moment, they're not using this shelf offering, and they're using their Bitcoin. So at some point, I'm starting to get conflicted about this strategy. I think the first couple of times that they did that, it made sense. It sent a message to the market that they were serious about not diluting the company. But at this point, they've mined about 1,300 Bitcoin since they started mining 13 months ago. And they have 471 of them left. So they've used 2/3 of their Bitcoin for operations, as well as to buy Bitcoin mining machines. And that is what the vast majority of this 467 Bitcoin went to in January. I did a rough calculation, so this is not 100% accurate, but roughly 100 Bitcoin should cover all of CleanSpark's cash expenses on a monthly basis at where it's trading right now in the $37,000 range. So they spent a lot more than 100 Bitcoin. They spent about 400, they said 467. So I believe what the rest of that was, there was about 4,500 miners that I think they had purchase ordered and not yet paid for. In that press release, they had mentioned they were going to buy those with Bitcoin. So I'm guessing that's where the vast majority of the rest of that money went. For those of you who are worried, this company has done some bonuses to management in the past, but those have always been non-cash bonuses. Those have been stock-related compensation. They would not need to convert any of their Bitcoin in order to accomplish that. So this is not money paid to management or anything like that. This is actually keeping the lights on, running the machines, and buying more machines. Okay, so the next line says, currently deployed a fleet of approximately 20,500 latest generation Bitcoin miners with a total hash rate of 2.1 exahash. So they are now at 2.1 exahash, which is a giant jump. At the end of the third quarter, so that's 3 months ago, they were at 1.3 exahash. A year ago, they were at 0 exahash. They have been very aggressive, and they have done an incredible job of getting their operations up and running in a productive and efficient manner. So all of that is good news. The question really comes down to, how does everybody feel about the fact that they are spending their Bitcoin? And at what point do they stop spending their Bitcoin and take another strategy, be it debt or equity, to fund operations? Because they do have a $500 million shelf offering. Potentially they could consider some debt or convertible debt. I know what they're trying to do is not dilute their stock at $6 a share. So I understand that. But some portion of their Bitcoin should be hodled, even if they're splitting it. If they are going to be a Bitcoin miner, and if their theory is that they are bullish on Bitcoin, then it does not make sense to spend all of your Bitcoin. So spending some of it to help move forward and buy more machines and generate more Bitcoin makes sense, but there's a break-even point somewhere where if you're just going to spend them all, then you're gaining none of the appreciation of Bitcoin over the course of time. So again, the thesis being that you're bullish on Bitcoin, and if you're CleanSpark, you're a Bitcoin miner, so I would assume you're long-term bullish on Bitcoin, right? Other companies have amassed 4,000 or 5,000 or more Bitcoin that are sitting on their balance sheets. You know, if Bitcoin has a nice run over the long term, those could 5x or 10x. But CleanSpark at the moment only has 471 Bitcoin, and they seem to be spending them as they go. So that is going to be the most important piece of the puzzle to watch on a going forward basis. How much of their Bitcoin are they able to hodl? Even if they're hodling half of it, that would be a lot better than what they did this month. And this month, they actually spent more Bitcoin than they mined, even though they mined more Bitcoin this month than in any other month in the history of the company. To put everybody's mind at ease, although their balance sheet is nowhere near as strong as all the other companies, this is not a company that's going to go out of business under this formula, because they are generating, 300 plus Bitcoin a month, which is substantially more than their operations and overhead is. So they can continue doing this indefinitely, even at prices lower than Bitcoin is at right now. However, that is not the long-term objective. I assume the long-term objective is to build wealth and increase shareholder value. And while I appreciate that they're not diluting the shareholders, I think they need to find a better balance in the strategy that they're currently taking. That's my personal opinion. You guys will all have your own personal opinion on that. I'm not sure how much this is affecting the actual price of the stock. They mined 305 Bitcoin in January, which was a 35% month-over-month increase. So that is very good news. So before we go to the chart, let me just show you something. And I think this is where their different strategy is showing through. So they have 2.1 exahash in active mining equipment. They mined 305 Bitcoin. Both of those numbers are very similar to Hut 8, Hive, and Bitfarms. However, while CleanSpark has a market cap of $261 million, those all have a market cap between $700 million and $1 billion. So you can see they're trading at 2 or 3 times what CleanSpark is trading at, and certainly one of the main factors there is that their balance sheet is so much stronger with all the Bitcoin that they have on it. So I do hold CleanSpark. It's one of my bigger positions, and it is because this market cap is so low. And again, this is not financial advice. I'm telling you what I'm doing. I believe that ultimately they will start to hold on to some significant portion of their Bitcoin, and their stock price will get back to something that's normal. And when you look at the charts, you'll see $6 is not normal for them. So again, not financial advice. I am not recommending this stock. I'm just telling you that I hold this stock and that's my philosophy. But I will tell you, I'm watching closely. If they keep converting all of their Bitcoin every single month, then I'm not sure what the point is. All right, I'm going to start a little bit zoomed out. This is Bitcoin on the daily chart, so each one of these candles represents one day. So I just want to take a look and show you that from a recent high on November 4th, and that is just within a week of when Bitcoin hit its all-time high, until where CleanSpark is trading today, they are down almost 73% from November. So in 3 months, this stock has dropped 73%. That is a drastic reduction. Now we know at the same time, most of the Bitcoin miners have had big pullbacks as well, and that is mainly a function of the fact that Bitcoin itself has pulled back significantly since then. Some of this is understandable. However, some of this just represents the Bitcoin miners, in my opinion, being oversold in general, and CleanSpark being additionally oversold in specific. So I'm going to zoom out a little bit further because you'll see that this high that I'm looking at that I'm measuring from in November is not their 52-week high. In fact, it's not even close. So last February, this stock was trading over $40, and in the January, just 1 month before that, it was over $42. So if I just go from the 52-week high from February 17th until now, this stock's down 84%. So you can see that is a massive pullback. And when I show you what they've done operationally, you would think the exact opposite would be true. Back in February, they had almost no exahash. They were mining almost no Bitcoin, yet their market cap was triple or quadruple what it is right now. So just to put it in perspective, as we just looked at that chart, we were looking at last January and February. So you can see the first month they ever mined Bitcoin was December of 2020. That was 31. January they did 42, and in February they did 45. They're down 84% in their stock price, and that is not due to dilution. That is a decrease in their market cap. So they're down 84% from last February when they were mining 45 Bitcoin a month, and they are now mining over 300 Bitcoin a month. So you can see there's a lot of conflicting factors here. So this is why I am bullish on them. I think this drastic drop in price just doesn't make any sense. Even if they were potentially a little bit overbought in the 40s, at $6, I just can't make any sense out of that. So back to the chart, I'm going to zoom in a little bit here and just do a little potential price target talk. They're trading at about $6.30 right now. Their 52-week low was just last week, and that was at about $5.54. So they're just off of their 52-week low. The first benchmark I'll look at is January 3rd was the first trading day of 2022. So that was basically 1 month ago. It's February 4th. Just to get back to where they were 1 month ago, this company's stock would have to go up 56%. So not a lot has changed in the Bitcoin story over the last month. We were well into a downtrend at the beginning of January. We've been kind of sideways since then. So this 56% to me should come right back as a function of Bitcoin just getting a little bit healthy at all. So then if I go back just a few days earlier when Bitcoin was trading a little bit over $50,000, CleanSpark stock would have to go up 94% just to get back to where it was on December 27th. So that was just a little over 1 month ago, maybe 5.5 weeks ago. So to me, both of these things are very realistic 2022 price targets. So again, this is not financial advice. You guys have to decide if these numbers make sense to you. And most of all, you have to decide how you feel about their Hodl strategy versus spending the Bitcoin like they're doing. So that's all I got for you on CleanSpark. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.